welcome back to the show. If you've been here before, that is, welcome back. If this is your first time here, please subscribe, like, and make sure you don't miss another video. If you've been following my Tumblr updates, where I post all of my channel updates for videos and such, you would know that I said that I was going to make a review on my favorite Bumblebee figure that I have, and that is Studio Series 100 Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee. When it comes to the robot design, a thing I really like about this Bumblebee is that he has a roundness about him, but he's also very dynamic. It gives him the sense of coolness, but also that he's friendly, that he won't hurt you. The kibble is managed really well, but it's not movie accurate. The Rise of the Beast Bumblebee design has the wings like folded up and kind of tilted upwards. The wheels aren't really visible, but the kibble management is very reminiscent of those classic Bumblebee movie toys, which is really nostalgic for me because I had quite a few of those. A thing I do have a complaint about for robot paint is the face could use a bit more paint, especially on the Autobot logo place here. Either they could have done like a silver bit for like when he has the Autobot logo, or they could have gone with a darker yellow or like something similar to represent like the Autobot logo being torn off of his head near the beginning of the movie. When it comes to accessories, he comes with one blaster and one like knife blade arm thing. The blaster is based off of his previous Studio Series Bumblebee designs, post the Bumblebee movie, I mean. So it's not based off the blasters he has in Rise of the Beasts, but it still works really well because it still adds to that roundness. And the blade is also based off of those movies. With the arm cannon, it only really looks good in the right arm. In the left arm, it only covers the bottom, so it just shows the entire top of the arm. It has the pegs that it uses to mount to the back showing. It's not the best. The blade is also based off of those Bumblebee movie blades, but this time it's just a piece of yellow plastic. I do wish they had added some silver on that blade just to make it look a bit better, to make it pop. I do know that there was like a special battle damaged version, I believe, that came with a painted blade, but I just read that off of TF Wiki. I'm not entirely sure how factual that is. When it comes to articulation, his head is on a ball joint and can look up a little down, and then it can go all the way around. His shoulders are on a ball joint. They can go that much out, a little bit in, and then they can go all the way around. His elbow has a full 360 swivel and 90 up. The waist can go all the way around. I'm not going to do that just because sometimes it feels like it loosens. Hips are also on a ball joint. They can go this much up, about that much back, and then this much out, and even a little in. They also have a rotation to it because of a mushroom peg in here. The knees go about a 90, and they have a bit here that locks into here that help with posing and transformation. And with the ankles, they rotate all the way around, which is really extreme for a Transformers figure, and then they can go that much in and this much out. So if you really want to get those dynamic ankle poses in, have him go in like a really deep crouch or something, you can do that. For the transformation, what you're going to want to start with is you move these headlight segments down a couple bits. You should hear 2 clicks, and they should be slanted slightly downward. This will help the windshield clip in, the windshield and the hood clip in nicely. You fold out the windshield and the front of the roof up like this. That'll help us later. You move these arms down like so. It takes a bit of effort because the locking mechanisms on Bumblebee here are very tight. It's a really well-made figure, but it takes a lot of effort to get it to where you want to if you want it in vehicle mode. Then you raise up the front part of the vehicle. Make sure those are clicked back down just so that this helps. Then you slide this over here, clip it in. The headlights should level out back to normal. I usually just start with the front, so I move the arms a bit in like this. Sometimes I rotate them at the shoulder just to help with like planning for the last step of the transformation, which you'll see in a bit. You close up the wheels like so, and then you have the front basically finished. Onto the legs, you open this bit here out like that. You take this, you rotate it like so, and then you move that foot in there and clip it in here. You do the same with the other side so that it just clips in like that. Then you clip these legs together. It takes a lot of effort because it is very tight. Then you connect those together right there. Close the doors on both sides. Then you take these arms, make sure the forearms are rotated so that they match the shoulders, and then you slide them in there. And then you have a pretty good Chevy vehicle mode, Camaro, I believe. It has a lot of like adventure style gear on it, like this grill in the front, these lights and the cage here. The back windshield has more of like an armored appearance. The wheels do look a bit bigger than they probably are on a normal Camaro. It does roll pretty well, I'd say. It is plastic wheels though, so maybe they could get loose with time. They're only connected by a peg as opposed to being pinned in, but you know, it's a deluxe class. What are you gonna do? Vehicle mode also has some pretty good weapon storage. You can just bang the blade using this peg here into that slot right there, like that. And so that's some pretty neat weapon storage for the blade. But for the cannon, all you do is just plug it in right there. And it just sits at the back, which isn't the most unique form of weapon storage, but it is a Transformers figure. At least it's not on the top, because, you know, that'd just be annoying if you want like a solid car Bumblebee. He also comes with the standard Studio Series background. This one is depicting the final battle of Rise of the Beasts, so it's just a gray wasteland. It's not the greatest. It exists. I keep it just because maybe someday I'll be able to make like a diorama using these, if I get around to that. But when I actually got this figure, the first thing I was thinking about doing with it was making a Goldbug custom, because I always thought that the like muscle car, sports car version of Bumblebee was always more of a Goldbug design than a Bumblebee design. But I slowly like fell in love with this version of like the Camaro Bumblebee design because it's round enough where it feels like Bumblebee, but it's still mechanical enough where it feels like a movie Bumblebee. And I think he's really good for both display and for play. Especially given that the mainline Rise of the Beast Bumblebee figure, from what I've seen, it's not the best. It's not the most fun looking. When it comes to the movie he's from, it's okay. It just reminds me of like a middle of the line Avengers movie where they weren't, I'm not going to say they're bad, but they were lacking the things that the other Avengers movies had. It's still better than most of the Bay films. Definitely Revenge of the Fallen, Last Night, Age of Extinction. But it's like a middle of the road Transformers film. It did make some of my favorite designs for these characters, like Bumblebee, RC, characters like that. Those have been my like favorite designs for these figures. It's just the movie didn't do much with the characters at all. It only fleshed out Optimus to a little bit and focused mostly on Noah, which I'm not entirely upset with, but when it's a Transformers film, you need to make the robots seem like they are characters too, otherwise you're gonna get lost. That's what happened with the Bay films, and it's what happens with a lot of things. But this, I, if I'm going to actually like do a review of Rise of the Beasts, I should make that a separate video. Actually, let me know if you want that down in the comments. Segueing into just the end of the video. Did you like this? Do you want to see more? Do you have this figure? What do you think of it? Do you want this figure? What's your favorite Bumblebee design? Just start a conversation in the comments. It's always appreciated, and I love seeing the things that people put down there. Like in my last video for Starscream, somebody put a couple details of that specific figure I reviewed that I missed, like the paint chipping on the head and things like that. And those were really important details that I missed. Make sure you follow the Tumblr if you have Tumblr to keep up on updates for the channel. And make sure you subscribe and like for more. Have a good day.